I presume the trip back on Wednesday was a pretty good one?
That was a good one, always a good one. Sky, after you win a game of football, and certainly the way we performed and scoring the goals we did, easier trip, and certainly how long it was as well. So got back really late, but yeah, it was a good trip back, mate.
What was half time like? Because I guess you don't have too many of those experiences as a player or a manager when your team effectively won the game.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have. Maybe as a player, but as a coach, not been in that position really. It was probably the first time I'd been in that position. I think mainly, look, half time, you're trying to work through scenarios in terms of what Plymouth may do. Are they going to change things? And me trying to set some pictures out or give that information to the players. I think the main message was, look, we need to maintain where we are and what we've done in the first half. I think it's probably human nature maybe is quite easy to come off it a little bit. And that wasn't the case. They didn't change much, but certainly it was a little bit more difficult. But for large parts, I thought we was very professional in what we did. I thought our behaviours in terms of everything what we did stayed very similar, and that pleased me a lot. So yeah, it was different, but I wouldn't mind every half time like that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just been speaking to Josh Cullen, who said that players were at half time really determined to make sure they didn't concede. They're really proud of this defensive record. I mean, that was pretty nice to hear.
Yeah, it is. I think first action probably, it was something as we was leaving the changing rooms that obviously was mentioned. I think first action of the second half, or a couple of actions in, I could see the desperation of us keeping a clean sheet, and it was something which we hold on to dearly. It's a badge of honour for us at this present moment in time in terms of what we've done. And I think as a group, like I always say, this not just everyone is engaged so much in terms of that. It means so much to them, and that hence why that is the reason we're currently doing what we are defensively, really. So yeah, I'm pleased Josh referenced that, and I sense that anyway amongst the group.
Zian Fleming's in some decent nick for you at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing well. I'm pleased for him. Obviously, has come into a new club, only been with us 4 or 5 months or whatever it may be now. So I realise sometimes the transition for players coming in, albeit he's probably not a bigger transition. He's been in the league, he's played in the league, he's around, he's been living in the UK for some time, so there's not many changes for him. The one change what probably has come for him is the probably level of maybe the information or different styles of what one team played to another, and he's had to adapt to that very, very quickly, and he's done that superbly, really. Pleased that now he's obviously finding the net as well, and as a striker they all base their games on goals. And he's been key to that.
I think he's got 8 now, hasn't he? And I think all of them away from home. Is that just a coincidence, or is it a case of you maybe finding better chances for him away from home, or what do you think?
It's probably not a coincidence. I think it's probably the dynamics of the games of what we face, really. I think it's probably very different. You go away from home, maybe the game's a little bit more open, teams are coming at us a little bit more, and there's probably bigger chances for us to create or exploit space what other teams are leaving behind. At home's probably a little bit different. Of course, I think teams come with probably a bit of a different game plan, and we're probably reduced and restricted into the chances we can create for Flem. So I think I could probably see the reasons why that may be the case, and there's definitely the part of it at home where we can improve, or certainly need to improve to create them chances or better chances at home for him to score there as well.
Must be nice knowing though that if you can get into positions to create chances for him at home, he's in such good form, you're back in to take them.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what you need. For us to be in and around when we need to be operating, we need players that can obviously put ball in there and score goals. Flem's proven that over a real small space of time. A technically very good finisher, along with the other boys on the top line as well. So yeah, we need to keep going the way we're going, keep creating these chances, and we know we've got someone there who can put the ball in the net.
It's a belting game on Monday, isn't it, to look forward to?
Big game for us, big game for both teams, really. So this is, look, I think we all understand the magnitude of this game on Monday. Two teams that have done very, very well up to this point of the year. We're playing against a really exciting team in terms of the way they play, a team that's been together now for probably 18 months with not massive changes, albeit they've of course sold some players, but they've got some real quality in their team, players that they've kept as well. We experienced that when we played against them early on in the season. So look, I'm sure Daniel will be saying the same about us. He understands the problems that we can cause them. It's got the ingredients to be a very good game. I think it will be defined on the fine margins, and the team that can obviously get the better end of them will come out victorious, no doubt.
You won at their place earlier this season. I remember speaking to you after the game, and you mentioned about how that type of performance might stand you in good stead for the rest of the campaign. Has that proven to be the case, the way that you won at Leeds? I
think it has, yeah. Look, I think we're a much better unit. We're a much better team that as a group, and how we perform now in terms of the way we play. I think we're a much better team than we were then. I think it's fair to say on that day what got us that result was exactly what you're talking about: a resilience, an understanding. We took our moment when our moment came, and we then showed a real resilience to hold on to that. And I think you've probably seen that for large parts this year. There's a common theme there. And yeah, we need to maintain that for sure. We always need to bring that to every game. And no doubt in our moments on Monday night, we're going to need to dig where we need to dig. And then show our quality and all the bits that we've been improving on to try and get the upper hand.
I don't think you play at Turf Moor on a Saturday until March. No. So you've got a lot of midweek games. What your experiences so far of Turf Moor under the lights? Have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed it, yeah. I think it's always stadiums are always a little bit different under the lights for some reason. We've had some night games now, and I do feel you feel that a little bit more. So yeah, it's pretty strange. Obviously, like you said, we don't play at home on 3:00 now for some time. But yeah, home stadium and our home supporters have been superb over the months, and Monday night takes care of itself, really. I'm sure our fans will be coming in and making that the stadium a pretty hostile one, and one which they'll get behind us as a group of players, and will be pushing us all the way, really.
And just a couple on the transfer window. You've a couple of lads have left on loan this week, Ekdal and Delcroix. Just your thoughts on that? Yeah,
but both players really that we're probably stocked pretty high in the back line, certainly centre halves, and probably was a time, both players coming off of injuries from last year and needed minutes. I wasn't in a position to really guarantee minutes, and I think it was best for both club and for them mainly to go and get some minutes and get some football. So yeah, we'll keep an eye only on loan, these players, and I think we'll keep a close eye now, and hopefully they get the minutes they want now out on loan and get them back in pre-season.
And does that free you up a little bit, Scott, in terms of your squad with regards to bringing people in?
Well, we've still got a biggish squad, to be honest with you, Scott. There's still some numbers, and look, as always, January is very difficult. It's a very difficult market. What we don't want to do, and certainly what I don't want to do, is I don't want to rush into anything. If there was something to be done which could improve us and could fit into this group, then for sure we'll try and do that. We have an incredible group of lads here who have done remarkably well. We'll probably be more reactive to how things go. Maybe some players leave, maybe they don't. Maybe something comes out of somewhere which we may be of interest, and we'll look at that when it arises, really.
Cool, thank you.
Cheers, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Dan,
Hey Scott, I know obviously you've been in this position before in the Championship. You've obviously been promoted twice. How is this season comparing? Is it possibly the most open that you've seen yet?
Not really. I'd probably see it as it is, really. Look, there's 4 teams at this present moment in time. Could there be another come along? Definitely, because that's what this division does. This division, you go and win 4 games, or you have a run of games before you know it, you could be in and around it, really. I still think it's very, very early. While it looks as if there's a gap pulling away from the 4 teams at the top, I still think it's very early. I don't think any game is going to be defining at this point, and I think you're not going to know until you get to the real back end with 10 to go. then you're going to really see probably who's going to be operating in and around it.
A lot of people talking about Josh Brownhill's assist at Plymouth. How important has it been, whether with goals or assists, that he's provided such a contribution from the midfield into those areas?
Yeah, look, I think it's really, really clear. I think Brownie's been very, very good. He's been exceptional, to say the least, really. So he's added goals. He's scored big goals for us, crucial goals. The assist the other night as well was first class. So not enough words to compliment Brownie and what he gives the team, not just on the pitch but off it as well. And just his general all-round game, other than that as well, is first class, really, and we're blessed to have him.
And Josh Laurent as well, obviously someone who sometimes maybe his contributions can go under the radar at times, but certainly not the case at Plymouth. What impact has he brought to the club this season? He's
had a massive impact, really. He's a player that I've wanted to sign for some time, really. Looking at Josh when we was at Bournemouth, and I probably knew his qualities and what he brings. He's a player that can play both roles really, really well. He's a player that can play as more of a holding midfielder and do the defensive side. And then, like you see the other night, you can play him up a little bit higher. Good box habits, runs into the box. I think probably his finishing could be better, and it's something we're working on. I say that really lightly because the other night, the first goal is a brilliant strike. The one before it, what he misses is a great strike as well. Keeper pulls off a very good save. So I've been really impressed with Josh, just his all-round game, what he brings to the team. Again, the same words as what I've just used for Brownie, really, on and off the pitch. He's been a vital cog, really.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.